Noether. The mathematical revolutionary. Imagine if I told you that the most important mathematician you've never heard of solved problems that Einstein himself couldn't crack, revolutionized our understanding of the universe's fundamental laws, and did it all while being banned from officially teaching at universities simply because she was a woman. Today's Duel of Concepts. Deep Dive explores the extraordinary life and groundbreaking work of Emmy Noether, the mathematician who Albert Einstein called the most important woman in the history of mathematics, and whose discoveries continue to shape modern physics and mathematics in ways that might surprise you. The early genius in a restrictive world. Born in 1882 in Erlangen, Germany, Amalie Emmy Noether entered a world where women were largely excluded from academic pursuits. Her father, Max Noether, was already a distinguished mathematician, but even his influence couldn't immediately open doors for his brilliant daughter. At the University of Erlangen, Emmy could only audit classes. She wasn't allowed to officially enroll because she was a woman. Picture this: a young woman so passionate about mathematics that she persisted through years of being treated as a second-class student. She sat in the back of lecture halls, unable to participate in discussions, yet absorbing every concept with an intensity that would later reshape entire fields of study. When the university finally allowed women to enroll in 1904, Emmy was among the first, but her journey was far from smooth. Her doctoral dissertation on algebraic invariance in 1907 was brilliant, but what came next would test her resolve even further. Despite her exceptional work, academic positions remained closed to her. She spent years working essentially as her father's assistant, unpaid and unrecognized, developing the mathematical insights that would eventually earn her worldwide acclaim. The Göttingen years. Breakthrough and barriers. In 1915, mathematicians David Hilbert and Felix Klein invited Emmy to the University of Göttingen, Germany's mathematical epicenter. But here's where the story becomes almost surreal. She was invited to solve some of the most complex problems in mathematics and physics, yet she still couldn't be given an official position or salary because of university regulations against women faculty. For 4 years, she lectured under Hilbert's name. Students would come to hear Professor Hilbert's course, only to find this extraordinary woman delivering insights that left seasoned mathematicians speechless. Hilbert himself famously argued to the university senate, "I do not see that the sex of the candidate is an argument against her admission. After all, we are a university, not a bathhouse." During this period, Emmy was working on problems that Einstein's theory of general relativity had raised. Energy conservation in curved spacetime seemed to break down, and the physics community was puzzled. Enter Emmy Noether, who didn't just solve the problem. She revealed something far more profound about the universe itself. Noether's theorem. The discovery that changed everything. Here's where Emmy Noether transcended from brilliant mathematician to scientific revolutionary. In 1915, she proved what we now call Noether's theorem, a result so fundamental that it connects the deepest symmetries of the universe to its most basic conservation laws. The theorem states that every continuous symmetry in the laws of physics corresponds to a conservation law. Let me break this down. When we say the laws of physics are the same everywhere in space, Noether's theorem tells us that momentum must be conserved. When we say they're the same at all times, energy must be conserved. When they're the same regardless of direction, angular momentum is conserved. This isn't just mathematical elegance, it's a window into why the universe works the way it does. Every time you see a spinning figure skater pull in their arms and spin faster, you're witnessing Noether's theorem in action. Every time energy is conserved in a chemical reaction, Noether's insights are at play. Her theorem revealed that conservation laws aren't just useful bookkeeping devices, they're inevitable consequences of the universe's fundamental symmetries. Einstein himself struggled with energy conservation in general relativity until Noether's work provided the framework he needed. Her theorem didn't just solve his problem, it revealed that his theory was more beautiful and consistent than even he had realized. Abstract algebra. Building the language of modern mathematics. While Noether's theorem secured her place in physics history, her work in abstract algebra created the very language that modern mathematics speaks. she pioneered what we now call modern algebra by focusing on structures and relationships rather than specific calculations. Think of it this way. Instead of studying specific numbers or equations, Emmy examined the patterns and rules that govern how mathematical objects interact. She developed the theory of rings, ideals, and fields, concepts that sound abstract but form the backbone of everything from computer science to cryptography. Her approach was revolutionary. While her contemporaries were often focused on solving specific problems, Emmy saw the forest through the trees. She identified the underlying structures that made different areas of mathematics similar, creating bridges between seemingly unrelated fields. Her work on chain conditions, now called Noetherian rings, provided tools that mathematicians still use daily. Her students often described her teaching style as transformative. She wouldn't just show them how to solve problems, she'd reveal the hidden connections between different mathematical concepts, helping them see mathematics as a unified, living structure rather than a collection of isolated techniques. Recognition and exile. The bittersweet years. By the 1920s, Emmy's reputation had spread worldwide. She was finally granted the unofficial title of Unofficial Associate Professor, a backhanded recognition that allowed her to lecture officially while still denying her full academic status and appropriate pay. International mathematicians sought her out, and her influence grew exponentially. She became the center of a vibrant mathematical community. Her collaborators and students, known affectionately as Noether's boys, would go on to shape mathematics and physics for generations. She had the rare gift of inspiring others not just through her discoveries, but through her generous sharing of ideas and her ability to see potential in unexpected places. But in 1933, everything changed. The Nazi regime dismissed all Jewish faculty members from German universities. Emmy, despite her international reputation, found herself expelled from the country where she had spent her most productive years. At age 51, she had to start over. The American chapter. Brief but brilliant. Bryn Mawr College in Pennsylvania offered Emmy a position, finally an official academic role with appropriate recognition. Though the salary was modest compared to her male colleagues, she embraced this new chapter with characteristic enthusiasm. She also gave lectures at Princeton's Institute for Advanced Study, where she worked alongside Einstein and other luminaries who had also fled Europe. American mathematicians were initially surprised by her informal teaching style and collaborative approach, but they quickly recognized her extraordinary abilities. She continued producing groundbreaking research, mentoring students, and building the mathematical community she had always championed. Tragically, her American period lasted only 2 years. In 1935, Emmy Noether died suddenly following surgery for an ovarian cyst. She was just 53 years old, at the height of her mathematical powers, with undoubtedly many more discoveries ahead of her. The lasting legacy. How Emmy Noether changed our world. Today, Emmy Noether's influence permeates virtually every area of mathematics and theoretical physics. Noether's theorem remains one of the most important results in physics, guiding our understanding of everything from particle physics to cosmology. Every time physicists discover a new symmetry in nature, they immediately look for its corresponding conservation law, following the path Emmy illuminated. In pure mathematics, her work on abstract algebra created tools that are now fundamental to computer science, cryptography, and quantum computing. The algebraic structures she studied provide the mathematical foundation for the digital security that protects our online transactions and communications. Perhaps most importantly, she changed how we think about mathematics itself. Her emphasis on structural thinking over computational technique influenced generations of mathematicians to look for deep connections and underlying patterns. Modern mathematics would be unrecognizable without her conceptual framework. Her impact on women in mathematics, while she might not have seen herself primarily as an advocate, was profound. She proved through her work and persistence that mathematical genius knows no gender boundaries. The Emmy Noether Association for Women in Mathematics, established in her honor, continues to support women pursuing mathematical careers. The recognition she deserved. In recent decades, Emmy Noether has finally begun receiving the recognition she was denied during her lifetime. Countless awards, fellowships, and mathematical objects now bear her name. The asteroid 7001 Noether, discovered in 1973, ensures her name travels through the cosmos she helped us understand. Major universities worldwide have established Emmy Noether programs to support young researchers. Google celebrated her with a doodle on her 133rd birthday. The mathematical community has embraced her not just as a great mathematician, but as the great mathematician whose ideas continue to generate new discoveries. Yet perhaps the most fitting tribute is simpler. Every physics student who learns about conservation laws, every mathematician working with algebraic structures, and every scientist seeking the deep symmetries that govern our universe is walking in Emmy Noether's footsteps. In conclusion, the mathematical revolutionary. Emmy Noether's story is ultimately one of triumph over prejudice through the sheer power of brilliant ideas. She faced institutional barriers that would have stopped most people. Yet she persisted and ultimately revolutionized human understanding of the mathematical universe. Her theorem connecting symmetries to conservation laws remains as profound and useful today as when she first proved it over a century ago. She embodied the best of mathematical thinking, the ability to see beyond surface complexity to underlying simplicity, the vision to connect seemingly disparate ideas, and the generosity to share insights that elevated everyone around her. In a field often characterized by competition, she created community. In an era of narrow specialization, she built bridges between disciplines. The next time you use GPS navigation, send an encrypted message, or simply marvel at the elegant laws of physics, remember that Emmy Noether's insights helped make it all possible. She proved that mathematics isn't just about numbers and equations. It's about discovering the hidden order that makes our universe comprehensible. If Emmy's revolutionary approach to uncovering hidden mathematical truths fascinated you as much as it did us, show this video some love with a like. After all, recognizing brilliance when we see it is something Emmy would definitely appreciate. Subscribe to Duel of Concepts for more deep dives into the minds that reshaped our understanding of reality, and let us know in the comments. Which mathematical concept do you think most deserves the Emmy Noether treatment of finding unexpected connections? Your suggestions might just inspire our next deep dive into the beautiful chaos of mathematical discovery.